This is it, finished. I haven't painted the borders or anything. I feel like I'm just gonna leave it. That is a later decision. But for right now, it's kind of nice just to have it up on the wall. Um, I came down here today to put wire across the back of all the canvases, like drill in little D rings and tie up the wire so I can hang them on these things. And I just realized once I'm down here that I forgot the Phillips head drill bit. So I've got the wrong drill bit on the drill. So just what a waste of time, really. But I got some cool photos, turned the lights on. Um, so I guess it wasn't a complete waste of time. With the paint that I use, it's like latex, acrylic-y, exterior and interior paint. It's all recycled stuff that I just pick up for cheap or free because I like to use a lot of it on big canvases. And it's always quite shimmery when the lights average. So in a really controlled setting, the light would make these look phenomenal. But when I've got natural light coming in the side and an LED down, the phone doesn't really capture a decent photo. I don't know what to do about that really, but yeah, I don't know, just rambling a little bit. It looks all good, I reckon. It looks great front on. Front on with the natural eye, not the camera. It looks mint. Yeah, you really just get absorbed by it. And that was the idea. That's what I wanted to do. I loved that when I did it, but when that is next to that, it just, this is a lot better. I think the colors are just a lot stronger. I don't know, they're different for different reasons. I don't need to compare all my paintings. But yeah, this one down here, I'm not going to talk about all my paintings right now. I don't even know what I was actually going to talk about. This one mainly. I kind of just wanted to show it. Finished on the wall is what I wanted to do. So I guess I was going to put this at the end of the long video of the whole process of me making it, the thinking behind it, the numerous takes of me rambling and me talking about it. I think the more I kind of just not plan what I'm going to say and I just talk to the camera about my work, about my process, about my thinking, kind of just let it flow. I talk myself in, I do that a lot too, but I talk myself in circles quite a lot to try and get different points out, and I kind of just stumble over the same points. But the more I talk and get into the flow and I start thinking out loud almost, some interesting things come out. So just rewatching the video of me talking about my process and asking myself some questions like why do I make what I make and whatever else I said in that video, I was like just rewatching it going, interesting. It's like when you journal and you free write, like some interesting things come out. So I guess this is just the vlogging version of this is just like a journal entry almost. I'm just kind of getting my thoughts out, talking through some things. But the space will be mint once I kind of get it sorted, once I get all the measurements right and I get all my work hung up. This is a phenomenal space. These little guys are cool. I have a decent body of work now, which is super exciting. Super exciting. I still have a lot of bigger ones I've got four hung up here, and then the rest just over there, which I will get some frames knocked up. I think that's what I'm going to use these for. Got some spare wood. And this is pretty shitty timber. It's a bit warped, but we can make some smaller ones out of it. Make the most of what you have. And then I'll stretch some canvases up. It'd be nice to get my really big work on some canvases. But yeah. What else is new? Oh, I did my light and dark. I don't even know what to call those. They're the long and skinny ones. I did one kind of dark and one light. So predominantly black with a little bit of grey and then specks of white, and then predominantly white with a little bit of grey, which kind of, now that I look at it, kind of dominates the lighter one. And then specks of black. So yin and yang, light and dark. They look great horizontally on top of each other. Well, long ways, but then stacked looks better than vertically next to each other, I think. So once I get some wire on that, I will be able to hang them and then get some good photos of them, and they'll look a lot better. But for now, I took some photos of them on the floor, and I don't really know how they turned out, to be honest. I haven't really looked at them yet, but I'll crop them and post them, I guess. But yeah, I am starting a new series. It's going to be a mini series. I have these little itty bitty canvases, about yay big. Got 9 about that size. And I'm going to do, I think each one's going to like represent a human emotion. So it's going to be the core human emotions, and it's going to be splatter. I want to replicate these big ones in just like a mini series. So it's easier to get, because I've worked on these for quite a while now, even this one. When it's a little bigger, it allows more opportunity for things to happen. So like these little areas in here where it's not really me, it's like the decisions I've made to throw paint where I've chosen to throw it. And then once it starts to move around and then the paint mixes together, it layers over one another, it chooses to do different things based on gravity and how much I've thrown at it and what have you. But I want to capture this kind of deep space essence with a bunch of different colors on a small canvas representing a variety of emotions. And I think it'll look really cool because a lot of the spacey vibe ones that I've done, blue, turquoise, black, they're quite dark and moody, and they all resemble space because of the dark aspect. Whereas if I've just got, I've already thought up a couple of color palettes. Just trying to think off the top of my head. Maybe one was envy, and it would be like green, and so it would be like an olive or maybe a forest green, yellow. There'd be like a love one, which would be like red and pink and maybe a bit of burgundy, and beige. And so it'll be like trying to replicate all of these tiny little microscopic moments, these kind of infinite web representing the whole thing, as well as something that could be minuscule and tiny, microscopic. And it wasn't minuscule, microscopic. Just with different colors, and I think it's pretty cool because a lot of my bigger stuff that I've done now, I'm seeing a lot of blue, and I wanna experiment with others, because there's one on the wall over there that's grey, black, and yellow with a touch of burgundy in there, and it's awesome. It's really cool. So yeah, I'm just rambling rambling again. But that's the new series that I'm going to work on now once I go back to the studio. I don't think I had much else to say. I came down here off a whim to try and get this on the wall, and then I'm going to make a long form video of how to get wire on the back of your canvas. So screwing in D-rings and getting wire. Because I watched a video to know how to do it. When I was learning how to do it, I watched this video. It was quite boring. But, I mean, just telling you exactly how to do it. So, I mean, what else is it going to be? But so I just kind of want to remake one, my version of maybe teaching someone who's earlier in the process how to do something like that. Plus, it's more content for me. And then, yeah, get everything hangable. And then hopefully into some shows, some exhibitions. Once I need to launch my website. It's the other huge obstacle. I've been spending months trying to get over this obstacle. It's not even the fact that it's hard. I've just been procrastinating getting this website up, giving myself all these excuses. So once I get my website up, I want to get into the Wellington Art Show or the New Zealand Art Show, one of the two. It's in Wellington regardless. So ideally both, the Wellington Art Show and the New Zealand Art Show. And that would be a huge stepping stone in my career in the direction that I want to go. I have the body of work to enter, to at least show what I can do, what my work is all about, my philosophy. And then the more I talk and the more I make content, the more legitimate my proposal becomes, because I have not only content and proof of what I can do and what I think, what I make, how I think, then it allows doors to open. I don't want to get too preachy, and because I'm not there yet. I'm on the journey to be a full-time artist, to make a living doing art, because that's what I want to do. It's my passion. I'm obsessed with it. I don't want to give too much advice because I feel like I haven't done anything yet to be able to give the advice. Like, what ground do I have to stand on? I have a body of work. I have some experience. I've done an exhibition as part of my university degree, which was a huge success in my mind because it wasn't a gamble. It was just like, all right, you got 6 weeks to fill the gallery. So that's where I did all my big ones, and I got 12 done in 6 weeks or 7 weeks or whatever it was. Which turned out to be like 5 or 6 hours every single day in the studio working on those big paintings. And that was kind of the tipping point for me, where I was like, if I can spend 5 or 6, 7 hours a day painting in the studio, working on things that interest me, and time just didn't matter. I mean, what can you do for 6 or 7 hours straight with no breaks? Like, there's not many people that can just be in a workflow for that long unless you are absolutely consumed by it, which I felt in that period. And that was the moment where I was like, this is what I want to do. I just want to make paintings. I just want to talk about interesting ideas. I want to talk about existential concepts in terms of, like, what is the human experience? How can you convey it in a bizarre manner through your art, through self-expression? I wouldn't say a motto of mine. I mean, it probably is, but something that I wrote down a while ago that just keeps coming to the forefront of my mind, and it's self-discovery through self-expression. So what does that mean? That means just like finding yourself through expressing yourself. So for me personally, it's kind of discovering who I am, what makes me tick, what is this human experience that we're all going through. But through my perspective, what is it? I'm trying to find it out. You have to find that out through your own means. But self-discovery through self-expression, I love to express myself through color, through splatter, through energy, through motion, through action, playful action, getting into the flow state. And that's when 5 or 6 hours, 3 hours can go by like that, when you're just in the moment. And then all of that flow state energy, for me, when I paint, is being transferred to the canvas. So it's capturing moments, it's capturing energy, frequency, vibration. And this is, yeah, if I could do anything with my life, for some bizarre reason, this would be it. So I have no choice. I believe I just have to do it. I have to do it. Well, I mean, what else are you going to do? If you, I mean, a lot of people don't know what they want to do, and that's fine. That's fair enough. People spend their whole lives trying to work out what they want to do, who they want to be. But if you can work that out, at least somewhat, pretty early on, then you have direction. And then whether you make that work is up to you. But for me, like, what's the alternative? What else are you going to do? Love it. Absolutely love it. Yep. So I'm going to go to the studio and start working on these little ones. I don't know how much of this video I'm going to use. I thought while I was kind of on a roll, while I was chatting shit, just rambling, some of it could be usable, and some of it's probably not, but that's all good. That is all good. All right, cut.